Honestly, this week movies is a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie, but we have Hellboy. The new Hellboy movie is missing its release date, or missed its release date rather. We have two pretty epic passings in the movie world, sad to say, and then we have a rather enigmatic actor is coming out of retirement for a very specific movie. And there's a couple other things in the cracks there too, so we're gonna talk about all of this. Let's go. Hello nerds! You have found the place for all of the nerdy movie updates worth talking about. More than just comic book movies, though that is a good chunk of what we cover here in the news. We get nerdy about all kinds of movies, as well as the art of making movies in general. If you like this kind of news reporting, then go check out the full show over on the main channel called The Week in Nerddom, where we talk about TV and comic books and gaming and rumors and etc., everything in between. You can find the link to that down in the description or at the end of this video. Now, let's hear about all that movie goodness, shall we? Okay, follow-ups and corrections this week from movies. We got two of them. First up is Hellboy, the Crooked Man missed their release date. And I say that, and that's a little bit misleading, but that's effectively what happened. The release date for Crooked Man was September 27th. It did not hit theaters in the US on September 27th. It did hit theaters in the UK on September 27th, but it's not coming apparently to theaters in the US at all. And this was not previously, as far as I know, I did not see any previous announcement that it was not coming to theaters. We knew it was being made, we knew it was coming soon, and we actually got, in some of the promotional material, it said in theaters on September 27th. And September 27th came and passed and we got nothing. So apparently the new plan for this movie is October 8th. It will be on streaming, and that's the only distribution they're going to get in the States. I don't know exactly where this is going. I believe it's going to be on Max, but don't hold me to that because I did not see that in the official announcement. But I think that's where the last movie went, so I think that's where this one's going to. But I mean, rights are different for each movie, so I very much could be wrong. If I can find it, I'll try and put it on the screen or something, or down in the show notes. But either way, yeah, Crooked Man going straight to streaming in the States. Very, very strange. The next piece of follow-up we have also related to something that's the sequel. Not that Crooked Man was exactly a sequel, but Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 now has a release date, actually, is now available on Peacock as of yesterday that I'm filming this, so probably 2 days ago as you're watching. Yeah, so Blood and Honey 2 is available. If you have Peacock, you can go watch it. Blood and Honey 1 was worth a watch, and if for no other reason than for anthropological study, because like they legitimately made that movie for like $6 and a prayer. So the fact that it did so well and they actually have a budget for this movie, the two movies are going to be strangely connected. I feel like that should be something you know going into this. It's not going to be a direct sequel in that it's just going to pick up where the last movie left off. This movie, from my understanding, is going to be different in that it's going to treat the first movie as like a mythology or a story told in the world of the second movie. That way they can change the way the portrayal of Winnie the Pooh and all of the characters involved. So very interesting to see what's gonna come of this. I forgot this was happening, so probably going to be on my list of things for that just happened going forward this week, but you're gonna have to tune in to that show to find out for sure. I mean, it's pretty safe bet. All right, so from there, that's what we got. Follow-ups and corrections. Let's talk about a couple of trailers that dropped this week. We have Nosferatu dropping a full-length trailer that is absolutely freaking creepy. Release date is Christmas Day, so I 100% know what I'm doing on Christmas Day. If you have yet to watch it, please go watch it. This is... I had my doubts when I saw the cast list before we got our first trailer. The first tease was like, all right, this looks like there's some promise. Now we have some actual footage and things going on. this is going to be an event, I think, for horror fans. So yeah, go check out the trailer. The other trailer we got, I thought this was going to be a series, so kind of took me by surprise a little bit that The Ballerina is a movie. Just my ADHD brain remembering pieces of information and not the entire information. But I do remember after watching the trailer, oh yeah, they did say moving from series to movie for whatever reason. And our first taste of The Ballerina looks like it definitely belongs in the world of John Wick, because that's where it's a spinoff from. And the trailer does a little bit, at least, to make you want to see the movie, so that the job that it's set forth to do. But I mean, if you're kind of whatever on the John Wick stuff, then the spin-off movie is probably not going to motivate you pretty hard anyway. It's kind of where I'm at with it. I love Keanu Reeves and all, but I don't know, John Wick just doesn't do a whole lot for me. That's what we got for trailers. Let's talk about some regular ass news, and we got to start with two really crappy stories, because they both have to do with deaths this last week. Two big nerdy deaths over the course of last week. First one being Kris Kristofferson. You will very probably know Kris Kristofferson as Whistler from the Blade franchise, also a country music legend, and has been in a million other movies. Just kind of crazy that one of the highwaymen is gone. The only highwayman left is Willie Nelson. So, like, oof. And Willie's getting up there in age now too. But yeah, Kris Kristofferson passed away at the age of 88. No cause of death has yet been released, but he did pass in, I believe he was in the hospital. No, I think that was the next passing. But either way, yeah, Kristofferson, we're going to take a moment and remember Kris Kristofferson and just the fantastic contributions to the world of music, the world of movies, to just nerddom in general. Even though I'm sure he wouldn't have really appreciated the title, he is kind of a nerd legend. So take a moment for Kris Kristofferson.
Catch you fuckers at a bad time?
You've been listening in the whole time?
Keeping radio contact.
Think I'd let him run loose without a chaperone? Christ, I'm too old for this!
And then, like I said, we got two passings this week. The second one was Maggie Smith. I think I might be doing these in reverse order, like chronological order. I think Maggie might have passed first and Kris Kristofferson second, but either way, they both have passed. And Maggie Smith, if you don't know Miss McGonagall from the Harry Potter franchise, she was also in Downton Abbey. She's been doing things since forever. Maggie Smith was 89 when she passed. And they did say, again, no cause of death was absolutely given, but part of her announcement was that they did make it known that she did pass in the hospital, and she was surrounded by family when she went. So there was at least that for her. Again, not much for Kris Kristofferson, but Maggie Smith, another nerd icon, has passed away. So we're going to take a moment and remember Professor McGonagall.
Wicked. How on earth are we going to do that?
Why don't you confer with Mr. Finnegan? As I recall, he has a particular proclivity for pyrotechnics.
I can bring it down.
That's the spirit. Now, where you go?
You do realize, of course, we can't keep up you-know-who indefinitely.
That doesn't mean we can't delay him. And his name is Voldemort. Phileas, you might as well use it.
Oh, and then there is one piece of news that is not a total bummer. It's actually kind of cool, really cool. So let's bring things up for the last piece of regular-ass news, and that is that Daniel Day-Lewis has come out of retirement. He has been seen on the set of the movie Anemone. Right? Is that, yeah, Anemone, sorry. I live in Anemone. Yeah, so Daniel Day-Lewis is on the set of Anemone, and the reason he's doing this movie, the reason he has come out of retirement, is because his son is directing. This is his directorial debut. His son's name is Ronan Day-Lewis. And yeah, this is his first movie that he's directing. So Daniel Day said, okay, let's do this. So yeah, big news, but that's kind of all we got. I didn't really find anything to do with what exactly an enemy is. So we'll keep tabs, but that's what we got for regular ass news this week in movies. Let's get to our suggestion this week. Our suggestion is an anthology movie. I don't know that we've suggested this for Halloween in years previous, but Trick or Treat is your suggestion. This underrated gem masterfully intertwines multiple chilling stories, each revolving around the dark and twisted traditions of the holiday. It strikes a balance between creepy and fun, if not funny, with a blend of suspense, eerie atmosphere, dark humor, all while capturing the nostalgic spirit of Halloween night. From vengeful spirits to the mysterious and iconic Sam. Yes, a modern horror icon was born with Trick or Treat. The film delivers clever twists and unsettling thrills without relying on cheap jump scares. There is one jump scare in the whole movie that I can recall, and I just watched it like 2 nights ago. So yes, by all means, it does the atmosphere thing very, very well without over-reliance like most modern horror on jump scares, which is real nice. It is the ultimate celebration of Halloween's macabre magic, perfect for anyone craving fun and frightful night. Yes, this movie, these, what is it, 5 stories I think it is, are very cleverly intertwined. There's a couple of moments where it's like, all right, suspension of disbelief is getting stretched a little bit thin, but it is a fun movie all around. So that is your suggestion this week, Trick or Treat. Check it out. It is streaming currently on Max. So if you don't have Max, you're gonna have to find other ways to get your nerdy hands on it. But if you do have Max, there you go. That's your suggestion for the week. That brings us to the end of the video, nerds. Thank you very much for joining me for the news. Once again, there is a full and probably much more up-to-date and recent episode of the news, the full-length version, if you will, called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel, linked down in the description, and probably link popping up somewhere around my face right about now. So click on that, go check that out as well, or if you prefer your news in more truncated pieces, then by all means, just stick around here and go check out some of the other stuff we offer on this channel. Thank you very much for joining me. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember, nerds, that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here.